That's 18 inches out. Okay? And so you're looking at that as 18, and you look at the say your back part, because this is the front, so your back part of the waistline, you know, you measure that, say that's 10, so that's 20. So 20, 18, you know, you figure that out. All right. And that'll give, you know, you figure up your waistline and see how much more inches you need, okay? So I just put a little bit on there, not even ½ inch, just a little bit on there. And how I did that, I measured it with the gauge, measuring gauge, okay? And from the line to how far I wanted it out. And then I took my pen and I marked it. And I marked it all the way down as to where how far I wanted, and then I blended it back in with the pattern. And I also did it back here too. And that's how you do, that's what you call grading the pattern. And then here also another thing I want to show you. Okay, when you get ready to cut your pattern, see this is 2 patterns in one. You have the pants and you have the shorts. In order to make sure you're not cutting that little piece right there for the shorts to extend out, I usually just take my ruler and just kind of like blend them in, like right here, make that come up to here, and then I'll fold it over, you know, when I start cutting it, and that way when you cut it out, you just let's see, just cut a little piece of that paper. I'm about to show you what I'm talking about. See, when you cut it out, all you do is fold that little piece over. Like that. And then that way, you save that little piece and you won't be cutting off the, that section. So if you do want to make the shorts to it, you know, you'll have it. So then all I do is cut around my purple line, go down, cut it out to darts, and see, just go right on across. Okay, and I'll cut the rest of that. But that gives you an idea of what it means to change your pattern, upgrade it. You know, if you come across some type of little dart things or a little extension of the fabric, and then you can that'll give you an idea. Okay, so now we're gonna do a little sewing, and then we'll wrap it up because that'll be it. Okay, and I also want to talk about this part of the pattern too. Yeah, and then I'll show you that also, because you remember that piece of the pattern had to have the elastic. That's the very back right here, and I'm gonna show you how I put those elastic in there. And basically, let's go right here. Basically, what I did here when I cut the piece out, I had to mark where all the elastic's going to be inserted. So on that pattern, it had lines. So I just followed the lines off the pattern piece and just drew them across with my marker. Picked up the ruler and drew them across, drew them across, drew them across. And then I took my 1 inch. It was required to have 1 inch elastic width, and then 1 yard and 3/8 inch of an amount. So I cut that out, and then I cut all my 6 pieces out and insert them in. And I'm going to show you how I inserted one in, and then I'll show you You know how you sew down on the lines. And like I said, I mean, I kind of had to work with the lines to get them straight. But, you know, all this stuff washes out. But actually, I'm going to, when I do sew this, I'll make this side go in. So they won't even want to see that. This is going to be the outside. Okay, so we're going to do a little sewing and then give you an idea how do you work on your sewing machine. Okay. So you follow your lines, like here. You know, you put your foot down, put it on this, and you get ready to sew. I normally don't like to sew with my pins. You can. A lot of people do, but I've learned from experience when you sew with pins sometimes it'll catch that needle, will catch it, and it'll pop. It'll break your needle, and I don't like that. And then sometimes it'll even catch the thread and make it twist and everything. So I'm going to show you a little bit, you know, sewing across the pin, but I usually don't like to do it. So that's probably why it may take me a little bit longer to sew, but that's okay because I like to do things right. And what I'm doing here, when I hit the back stitch locks it in, locks in that stitch. So when you get through, you won't have to worry about it coming loose. And this is what I mean by my trimmers. Cut the thread close as you can without cutting it off. And do that. Okay. I have 2 lines on the bottom of it for this one. That's how they have it on the pattern for its reinforcements. Okay. So I can do it like this and then cut and trim those later if I want to. You know, I don't have to necessarily do it right then and there, but a lot of times I do because I like to get mine all cleaned up and everything. And I'm going to show you how I put the elastic in there. Take a safety pin as your guide. Open up that section for the insert of the elastic. And then you got to work it through. And let that pin be your guide to pulling it all the way through. See, you got to work with it, get it through there. So, getting it through, getting it through, getting it through. Okay. And on this pattern, it required that even though it told you to cut out 1 3/8, 1 yard and 3/8 of elastic, it also requires you to cut off 2 inches of it at the very end. So we leave some of the part out here so you can catch it. Okay, so you got your elastic through there, and then you sew them down. You reinforce them. This is how I do it. Okay, I started, back stitch it, started, back stitch it. So basically I kind of back stitch as I go, so I know it's gonna stay. You know, I don't have to worry about it coming loose. Okay. So that's the very back. And I'm going to show you this. This is the strap. I'm going to sew this real quick. How am I done? Okay. And with this sewing machine here, if I want to like keep it like the needle in a position down when I stop it, I can set that right here. like when I stop, see it stays in position.